My name is Kwesi, and I live in a small village called Odonkor, surrounded by endless forests and rolling hills. Life here is simple, but beneath the surface there are stories whispered by the elders. Stories of envy, betrayal, and the power of unseen forces. One of those stories is about a woman named Amma and the terrible bargain she made. Amma was the first wife of Kofi Danso, a wealthy farmer. They had been married for many years but had no children. Amma prayed and fasted, visiting every shrine and healer, but no child came. Then, one season, Kofi married a younger woman, Essie, who bore him 3 children in quick succession. It didn't take long for Amma's bitterness to grow. Every time she saw Essie laughing with Kofi or her children running through the compound, Amma's heart burned. It wasn't just jealousy, it was shame. In our village, a woman without children is seen as cursed, and people began to whisper behind Amma's back. One day, Amma decided she couldn't take it anymore. She needed to do something to regain her dignity. And so, she sought out the one person everyone feared, Nana Ya, the village witch. Nana Ya lived deep in the forest in a small hut made of mud and palm leaves. People said she had lived there for over 100 years and could command spirits. Amma waited until dusk to visit her, not wanting anyone to see her going there. When Amma arrived, Nana Ya was sitting outside her hut, her face as wrinkled as a dried leaf. A black cat purred at her feet. "What brings you here, Amma Danso?" Nana Ya asked without even looking up. Amma hesitated, her voice shaking. "I need your help, Nana. Essie must not remain in my husband's house. Her children have taken everything from me." Nana Ya laughed, a cold, sharp sound that sent chills down Amma's spine. "You want to harm her? And her children too?" Amma nodded. "I want them gone. All of them." The old woman studied her for a moment before nodding. "Very well. But everything comes at a price, Amma. Are you willing to pay it?" Amma hesitated, but then nodded again. "I'll do whatever it takes." Nana Ya stood and led Amma into her hut. Inside, it smelled of herbs and smoke. A small pot bubbled over a fire and strange carvings covered the wall. Nana Ya began to chant, tossing bones and powders into the pot. After a while, she turned to Amma. "Bring me something that belongs to Essie or her children. A piece of clothing, a strand of hair, and the curse will be complete." Amma agreed, promising to return the next day. That night, she crept into Essie's room and took a small scarf that belonged to one of the children. The next morning, she returned to the forest and handed it to Nana Ya. The witch chanted again, this time louder, and poured the contents of her pot onto the ground. "It is done," she said. "Essie and her children will face misfortune. But remember, Amma, you cannot escape the consequences of your actions." Amma didn't care about consequences. She returned home convinced that her life was about to change for the better. At first, nothing happened. Days passed and everything seemed normal. Amma grew impatient, wondering if the witch had deceived her. But then, strange things began to happen. Essie's youngest child, Kwaku, fell seriously ill. His once bright eyes grew dull and his laughter disappeared. The healer tried everything, but Kwaku only got worse. Soon after, Essie herself began to suffer from terrible nightmares. She would wake up screaming, saying she saw shadows moving in her room. Then one evening, a fire broke out in Kofi's barn. Half of the harvest was destroyed, and with it, most of the family's income. Kofi was devastated, and Essie blamed herself, saying she had brought bad luck to the household. Amma watched all of this unfold with a mix of satisfaction and guilt. She had wanted Essie to suffer, but not like this. The children's cries and Kofi's sadness began to weigh on her. One night, she had a dream. In it, Nana Ya appeared, her voice echoing like thunder. "Amma, the spirits are angry. You have unleashed something you cannot control. If you do not undo the curse, it will consume not only Essie, but you as well." Amma woke up in a cold sweat, her heart pounding. For the first time, she realized the enormity of what she had done. She decided to confess everything to Kofi. When she told him the truth, Kofi was furious. "You went to Nana Ya? You brought this evil into our home?" he shouted. Amma fell to her knees, sobbing. "I was jealous, Kofi. I was blinded by my pain. Please forgive me." Kofi didn't speak to her for days, but he eventually agreed to help her undo the curse. Together, they went back to Nana Ya's hut. The witch was waiting for them, as if she had known they were coming. "I warned you, Amma," she said. "You wanted to harm Essie, and now you have brought harm to your entire family."